Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so let's get started. Tonight, it's all about leadership, but it's a little bit outside the box thinking leadership. Okay, so I am going to share a little bit. It's just a little short thing. I'm just going to read out to you guys, and then I'll let go of the share, and I'm going to jump back on and just have a chat about a few other things. Hang on 1 second. Let me get this up. Okay. All right. Can everyone see this? Everyone's good. All right. So leadership. Now, I'm just going to read through all of this because I want you guys to read along with me. This is really, really important. When we say things like this within our subconscious takes anything in it, everything and anything. Yet we have a choice to reject thoughts. Okay. The only limitation is your own thoughts. You are the only person in your own way. So most people don't go after what they want. They go after what they think they can get. And that's based on their present resources. They don't understand the access of the infinite power that they have. The wants come from the essence of who we are. Remember, it's an inside-out job. And most people who don't know how it's going to happen, so they just reject it. When someone feels something's too hard or they create a goal, we create a goal of some sort. There's three types of goals. The first goal is the ones that we know how to do. The second one is the ones that we think we know how to do. So now let me just rewind a little bit. The ones we know how to do is, say you want to buy a Mercedes Benz. I want to buy a car by the end of the year. Yep, cool. I know exactly what I need to do. I need to save my money. I need to go to a car dealership. I need to do this, boom, boom. You know exactly how to do that goal. The ones that think they know how are the ones that say they go to university and they say, yep, this is what I'm going to do. That's the business I'm going to start. That's what I'm going to do, right? But not everyone is successful in that either because they study, yet they go and do it, that it's not what they want to do, or they're not as successful as that person, or they're not. So it's they think they know what to do. And the third one is, and I think it's only 7% of people ever go into, is the one they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. And this is where we all need to be. We all need to go into that that goal of creating something so big that it scares the living daylights out of you. And you don't know how you're going to get it, right? And it says here, you don't know how you're going to get it, how it's going to happen. You only know it's going to happen. You see, people don't reject change. And this is really important, okay? It's that they don't like to be changed. But when an individual changes, everyone around them has to but change and adapt to the new version of that person. They have no choice. So sometimes when people do, I remember when I was becoming a coach and I was learning and I was growing and I was letting go of things and I was becoming the best version of me and I was in my heart and I was doing all this stuff. I lost a lot of friends because I changed, but they preferred me the old way. Now, this is subconscious behavior. It's the programming that they have from when they were young. So this is how they have decided to stay subconsciously. They're unaware of this. So they chose not to change along with me. Where I had other friends, they were like inspired by what I was doing. So they were like, oh, wow, and they came along the ride with me, where others decided to stay back. Was it tough? Was it sad? Was it hard? Absolutely. I lost some really close friends, from when our kids were, from kinder, from that were friends for 17 years and, 10 years, whatever it is. And it was really sad, but it is, people will change when you change. Okay. Learning to lead is not difficult. What makes some leaders better than others? It's not what they do. It's the order they do it in. If we learn the universal laws, and I'm going to be touching on many single universal laws on here because these are powerful. And then when we implement them into our lives, it is unavoidable success. You cannot fail in life. You can only but win. It's like people put rules. You follow the rules, you'll get to the other side. It's exactly the same thing. But this is something we're not educated about. We're not educated about the universal laws. What are the universal laws, right? And they're pretty powerful. They're amazing. And they've changed my life, and I teach my clients, and it has changed my clients' lives as well. As a business owner, a leader, and when I say leader, I'm talking about, like you were saying, Allison, parents even, or a mom, she's a leader. A dad, he's a leader. A coach who coaches sport, he's a leader. A teacher is a leader. It doesn't matter what it is, who it is a leader. But if an organization or a business owner or a manager, whatever it is, comes to us and says, oh, listen, I need you guys to come in. This and this is going on with my staff, which I hate using that word, my team. So you'll understand when I say team, it means that. It's, there's stuff going on with my team, and this is going on. So we sit down and we really dissect this. Well, what is it that you're seeing they're doing? What is it that they're, not doing? What is it that they can improve on, And we get really, really deep down into what it is that's really, really going on. And what this does, it brings the leader, I'll just say leader, awareness, right, of what's going on in the business. And then we flip it on them. Because when we go into a business, we say, well, who trains your team? Oh, I've got leaders, managers. I say, okay, great. So who trains your managers? Well, I've got leaders for that. Great. Who trains your leaders? Oh, I do. Great. We're starting with you. Because your business is you. It's an inside out job. Now, here's where it gets a little bit woo-woo or a little bit outside the box. What you are seeing in your business, right? What you are seeing in your business is you, is an aspect of yourself. And a simple way to just help you understand this is, I'm sure many of you have watched a movie, and then you've gone back and watched the movie again, and you're like, oh, I didn't see that the last time. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh my God, I missed that the last time. I got it now this time. Well, you're wrong. You didn't miss it. What you're seeing is another aspect of yourself. Now, I don't know who here knows Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says, if you ever see a movie and you cry at the end of the movie and you're bawling your eyes out, and you've just seen a movie of perhaps a paraplegic person or someone that has been fighting, and then in the end they win, they get to, every movie has a hero in the end, they get to that set and you're like, oh, emotionally connected, and you start to cry. What you're seeing is your potential. Because life is a mirror. It's a mirror of you. So what you're seeing, I remember going into one of our businesses that we were coaching, and we walked in and we said, how you going? We sat down, and we used to do 4 hours a week with this company. They started at nothing. When they finished with us after 12 months, they hit 1.9 mil. Now they're over $3 million, and they're the best pool steel fixing company in Victoria. You can look them up. And they know us very well. They rang us the other day. We always keep in touch now, where we become like mentors to them. And I remember going in one day, and he sat down and he says, Georgia, he goes, everything's falling apart. He said, my team is just not communicating anymore. They're just all over the place. They're unorganized. They're just fighting. They're just yelling at each other. They're not listening to me. They're just out of control. And I sat him down and I said, okay, give me more. And we really sat down and looked at what was going on. And I looked at him and I said, well, I said, what are you making that mean about you? That I've lost control, that I'm not, he says that they're not listening to me. I'm not friggin' respected here. I'm not, whatever. And I go, well, how's that making you feel? And he goes, really frustrated. And I said, okay, so where within your life are you frustrated within yourself right now? And he looked at me and he sat down and he looked at it and he goes, oh shit. He says, we're out going camp. We've gone to camp on the beach for 6 weeks. They have a house, which is 3 blocks away. They go, we want to do something adventurous. And he goes, we're still having to put up the tent, and we're trying to sleep, and it's raining and it's leaking and everything is all over the place and everything is this and everything is that and blah, 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 blah. And he stopped and he looked at me and he goes, gotcha. Because by then he knew how, things ticked. I said, sort that out and watch what happens at work. And sure enough, he left early that day and he sorted that campsite out, and he got everyone together and they had a beautiful barbecue, and his family, his wife, they were fighting before. The kids were arguing. They were screaming, yelling. They were a mess. They were all over the place, uncontrollable. So what was going on in his mind was reflected out there. So I remember when I think I've shared this story before, but this is a really, really big one that it's a great example to help people understand what I mean by this. I went to get a coffee one day and I went in to buy the coffee. And as I bought the coffee, I think I might have shared it last week. I can't remember. But again, this is a great example for people to start to understand how this works. Because when you get this, it is a game changer in your life. I went in to get a coffee. And as I got my coffee, I saw this beautiful little old man, little old guy, like 100 years old, sitting there. He looked beautiful. And then he stood up. He was excited. And I saw this beautiful 100-year-old little woman walk in and he's hugging her and kissing her. I was like, how beautiful is that? So what I want to share here is I know when I see things like that outside in my life, in my world, in my reality, I know I'm reflecting out love, gratitude, joy, peace, happiness, all the beautiful things, because that's what I'm seeing. But if I'd gone in to buy my coffee, angry, pissed off, frustrated, or whatever, sad, whatever it is, that little man would have been there, but not in my eyesight, not in my reality. I would have only noticed the mother yelling at her child, the other person not smiling at me for serving me. I would have only noticed what was aligned to what I was feeling in here. So here is the secret. If you ever feel that something's going on at home, like if something's going on with my kids, I make sure I ask them, are you okay? Yep. Then I walk away and I come in here and I sort myself out, because what I'm seeing is an aspect of myself. I come in here and I say, well, how's that making me feel right now? Sad for my son. Where am I sad within myself right now? What am I sad about? Okay, I'm sad because I haven't seen, it happened last week. I'm sad because I haven't seen my mom in Canada and she's got dementia for a while. And then I sit within that and I heal that thought. And then I go out and my kids don't look sad anymore. They don't look, that is the magic power of all of this, guys. It is so friggin' simple. People don't get it. It's too simple that people don't believe it. They go, oh, bullshit. How's that I'm going to go away, put myself in gratitude and then go back and everything changes. Yes. Try it. So when it comes to a leader, okay, a leader must go within themselves. My business, I've had to go within myself so many times, and I still continue to do so. I've been doing it for 15 years. Because people, we are energy, okay? And I'll go into one of the universal laws on another education thing, but when we're able to shift and change ourselves, right? Your team starts to change. Because remember what I said before, right? When you change, okay, everyone around you must change to adapt to the new you. So being a leader is about going within. It's not about being the person in charge, telling people what to do, doing this. No, it's true what they say, lead by example. So do the shifts and changes within yourself. Yet how you see what you're seeing is not about what you're seeing. It's about whatever emotion, whatever feeling is connected to what you're seeing and what you're making that mean about you. And that is where the game changer is in every single leader. Now, another story I want to share with you guys is my son. He was 16 years old. And we're back in Melbourne, living in Melbourne. He was in the car and he goes to me, he played football. Football he just loves it. He's good at it. He loves it. It's great. And he goes, Mom, if I don't get into the leadership squad this year, I'm going to be pissed. And I said, oh, okay. I said, so what you're telling me is that you need a label to be a leader. You need to have a label on yourself to be a leader. And he goes, nah, Mom, you don't understand. You just play different when you're a vice captain, when you're in, this, and you're leading, and I said, oh, okay, cool. I said, so let me ask you a question. He goes, yeah. I said, who do they pick to be leaders? He looked at me. He goes, leaders? And I started laughing and I said, that's right. I go, let me ask you, how long have you been trying to get on the leadership squad? He goes, 4 years. I said, okay, cool. What has that taught you? What have you learned? What have you learned trying every year to get on the leader? What have you learned? He goes, to just be more determined than ever. And I said, So I said, You have learned the ability of how to be determined, where other leaders have never learned that. They become a leader for another reason or whatever it is, but they've never learned that. What you will carry now with you moving forward in life, in business, in relationships, in whatever it is that you want to do, you know how to do determination. And he goes, oh man, he goes, I never really looked at it that way. And I said, buddy, life is always happening for us. This had to happen for this down the track to happen. And we need to always trust that everything is happening for us. And that year he got leadership because he let go of wanting it, because he was not going against the grid, which is I call God's path. I believe in God. I'll use God, the name, but he was not going against his, God's path. He was not going against where he needed to go. He was fighting this way, but I want this way. This is where the magic happens, when you need to let go of the how. When you let go of the how, when you want something, you just let it go. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's what I want. And you see it, you think it, you feel it, and you own it, you action it. Watch how you can change your lives. And that is a leader, a person that has a vision. A goal is just a bite out of the vision. A leader is someone that taps in, that steps in and creates the shift and changes within themselves that reflects out to others. What reflects back to them, really. Okay. So at the end of the day, we're all leaders. We're absolutely all leaders.
I love that.
How do I stop sharing here?
I love that. Does anyone have any questions for Georgia?
I don't know how to stop sharing, Alison.
Oh,
It's not. Oh, there it is. Stop sharing. There we go.
perfect.